All right, so with the playoffs coming up, players are just absolutely crushing it at the end of the season. It's time to get some recognition. That's what All NBA is for. This video, I'm going to give you guys my predictions for all three All NBA teams. So there are two guards, two forwards, and one center for each team. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so I'm going to be starting off with the first team, and the first guard for the first team, I think it's pretty obvious. It has to be Luka Doncic. I mean, what Luka's done for the Dallas Mavericks is like incredible. I mean, he's like one of the smartest players in the league. He's able to penetrate and he's able to, generate offense very well. He's sort of able to read defensive schemes of teams very well. He's able to punish those defensive schemes and take advantage. He led the entire NBA in scoring. He almost put up 34 points a game. And on top of that, he almost averaged a triple-double, 0.2 assists away and zero point 0.8 rebounds away. And that just speaks volumes of how great a player he is. I think he's one of the best players in the entire world. What he's done for the Dallas Mavericks to bring him to the 5th seed in one of the toughest conferences in the entire world. But Luka Doncic is the first guard on All NBA first team. Now moving on to the second guard is going to be Shai Gilgeous-Alexander of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Now, SGA is, say what you want about him, you can call him a free throw merchant, but the dude just hoops. I mean, he's one of the best two-way players in the league. He's a very fundamental part of a young OKC team that ended up first in the Western Conference. Again, very, very tough conference. And what he's done, his two-way play is very sound. He plays great ISO ball. He was tied with De'Aaron Fox for most steals in the entire game this year. And on top of that, ever since he got to OKC, he's butted into a superstar. He's gotten a ton of opportunities. And this is the first year he actually eclipsed 6 assists, and that just speaks volumes of his playmaking ability and his ability to generate offense for such a young team. And they're only going to go up from here. And I think this is going to be a second straight year with first team All-NBA. Moving on to the forwards. Now, Jason Tatum, the best player on the best team. I mean, he's taken his game to a whole new level. He's doubled the possessions on which he posts up, meaning he drives to the paint a lot more. He's put on 15 pounds last offseason, which, I mean, is just incredible. As a power forward, he's able to drive to the paint more instead of just up-chucking threes. And even though his usage has decreased, he still put up 27 points a game, which is still top 10 of the league. And that's just incredible. That speaks volume of how his play is evolving so much, considering the players surrounding him. He's not a ball hog. He's able to generate offense, drive to the paint, get points. And on top of that, his two-way playmaking has taken a big step as well. He's playing better defense. He's defending the perimeter really well. His interior defense has significantly improved as well. And this guy deserves so much recognition. This is going to be his 3rd straight season for first team All-NBA. Now, moving on to the other forward, Giannis. It's got to be Giannis Antetokounmpo. I mean, he's one of the most dominant players we've seen in recent history. The dude is able to drive to the paint. I mean, the fact that he's at that size, like 6'11", but he's still able to move like a guard is just absolutely incredible. His post offense is just incredible. He still plays really good. And he's actually the first player in NBA history to put up 30 points with 60% plus field goal shooting. And that just speaks volumes of his incredibly efficient play in the paint. And obviously he doesn't shoot threes, but he's still such a phenomenal player. And despite the drastic coaching changes that Milwaukee's experienced this past season, his play remains so consistent, and he's just such an incredibly talented player, and he's going to make first All-NBA team again this year. All right, now moving on to the center, I think it's pretty obvious that it has to be Nikola Jokic. I mean, Joel Embiid would have made a case had he not had the knee injury, but Nikola Jokic, even though he's slow, he's so incredibly difficult to guard. I mean, he's just one of the most talented basketball players in the entire world. Obviously, he's coming off of a great Finals MVP. And the dude was 1 assist away from a triple-double. I mean, he's so good at playmaking. He's so good at rebounding. He's so good at putting up points. I mean, the dude is just a bona fide efficient scorer. And, I mean, he's the reason for the Nuggets' success. And there's really no stopping him. All you can try and do is stop the other players surrounding him. And maybe you can get to Jokic. But, I mean, Jokic is just so incredible. I mean, he just elevates the Nuggets. And he's just such a good player on in all facets of the game on the offensive side, like putting up points and assists. So this guy's definitely going to make All-NBA first team. This guy almost made it last year, but Joel Embiid was amazing last year, won MVP, but Jokic is going to make it this year. Okay, now moving on to the second team, I have to put Jalen Brunson here. I mean, Jalen Brunson was making a case for first team All-NBA, but two guys named SGA and Luka exist. I mean, this dude just turned it up after the All-Star break. He's one of the craftiest players I've seen in recent history. He's so shifty. This guy was fourth in scoring, helping the New York Knicks anchor that offense and be able to lead them to the second seed, even though they were missing OG Anunoby for a little bit. They're missing Julius Randle for the rest of the season. I mean, what he's done for the New York Knicks is nothing short of amazing. This guy reminds me so much of Carmelo Anthony back when he was in New York in the 2010s. I mean, safe to say he might even make first team All-NBA sometime. All right, now moving on to the other guard, it's got to be Anthony Edwards. What Anthony Edwards has done to develop into young player on one of the most talented rosters in the NBA, the best defensive team in the NBA this past year. He's such a fun player to watch. I mean, his development over at Team USA and FIBA last year has helped him develop. The guy was 12th in scoring, and I mean, he's made some really flashy plays. I mean, you got to look at the backboard dunk where he was trapped, threw it off the backboard, went and dunked it. Dunked on John Collins. He also plays really good defense, and he's such a confident young player, and being that confident and being able to make flashy plays at that age just speaks volumes, and he's going to be such a talented player for years to come. He's going to eventually be a superstar, and safe to say he's going to make first All-NBA team some year, and who knows, he might help the Minnesota Timberwolves make their first ever finals this year, and he might get finals MVP in the process. All right, now moving on to the forwards, it's going to have to be Kevin Durant. I mean, this guy ages like a fine wine. I was one of the dudes that thought that he wasn't going to be nearly as good as he was pre-injury when he obviously tore his Achilles tendon in the 2019 NBA Finals. But he's one of the most versatile scorers in the NBA. He is the most versatile scorer, actually, and he's one of the most versatile scorers of all time. I mean, he's just virtually impossible to guard. I mean, he can hit a three on your head any day. He can pull up and hit a mid-range. He's really good down low. And his defense has slightly improved, and he's been such a huge part of the Phoenix Suns' success in getting to that 6th seed. Obviously, it was a little disappointing because they were projected to be top 3, but with all the injuries that Bradley Beal had, those guys haven't played that much together. It's kind of like the Brooklyn Nets, but I mean, you have to give Kevin Durant his flowers. The dude just turns it up every year, and even though he's in his age 35 season, dude just phenomenal. I mean, he's so incredible to watch. He's still phenomenal enough to be on second team All-NBA. All right, now moving on to the second forward, I have to give Kawhi Leonard his flowers. I mean, this dude randomly just turns it up every 5 years. First in 2014 for the Spurs when he won Finals MVP. Then in 2019 when he won Finals MVP with the Raptors. Who knows, he might win Finals MVP with the Los Angeles Clippers. This dude had phenomenal splits, 50, 40, almost 90. He was at 88% free throw shooter. And the dude's just such a great two-way player. And he plays lockdown defense. He averaged 1.6 steals a game. He averaged almost a block a game. And first time in many years that he actually eclipsed 60 games played since when he played in San Antonio. And he's been such a fundamental part of a surging Clippers team. He's kind of injured for the playoffs. He has a swollen knee, but you have to give him his flowers for the regular season. The dude was just so incredibly talented, incredible to watch. So Kawhi Leonard, second team All-NBA. Now moving on to the centers, I mean, you got to go with Anthony Davis of the Los Angeles Lakers. I mean, this guy is so good defensively, one of the best centers, or one of the best defensive centers in recent history. I mean, this guy averaged 2.3 blocks and 1.2 steals, which is 3.5 stocks. That's just absolutely absurd. And he's 30 years old. Obviously, he's had health issues, and Lakers fans and the front office wanted him to be the player that they acquired 5 seasons ago, and he finally has gone back to that, healthy Anthony Davis stage, putting up 25 points, 13 rebounds, and playing the most games in his entire career. The dude is just the perfect right-hand man to LeBron James for the Los Angeles Lakers, and he's been a big part of their recent success. Now, if his health continues to be stable throughout the playoffs, you never know. The Lakers might make a run with AD and LeBron running the front court. And the dude is just so incredible to watch. I mean, he's just so dominant down low. He's incredibly tough to score on, and he's very hard to guard in the post. And yeah, Anthony Davis, second team All-NBA. All right, now moving on to All-NBA third team, I have to give Tyrese Maxey his flowers at guard. I mean, so many talented players, but Tyrese Maxey is just a young star. He's averaging 26 points a game, a career high in assists. First time he's ever eclipsed 6 assists. And the Jew's just so talented. He took over Harden's role perfectly. Obviously, when Harden was in town, he didn't get very much playing time. He only started like 41 games last year. This year, he started all 70 games he's played in, and the dude's just incredibly talented. He's so crafty. He could be trouble for the New York Knicks in the first round of the playoffs. Obviously, him and Embiid, what they've been doing is incredible, and what Tyrese Maxey has done in Embiid's absence is just astounding. I mean, he dropped 50 points and like a career high, and the dude's just so incredible to watch, and he's going to be such a big part of the Philadelphia 76ers for years to come. And I mean, I have to give him his flowers just because he's so young. He's got years ahead of him, and he's at this age, at the age of 23, what he's been doing, improving, he's only going to go up from here. So he's going to be trouble. So yeah, Tyrese Maxey, All-NBA third team. All right, now moving on to the other guard, I have to give recognition to De'Aaron Fox. I mean, what he's been doing, steadily improving every single year. 26.6 points a game, averaging a career high in three-point percentage at 37. His field goal percentage has taken a little bit of a dip, but it's still really good. I mean, the dude is just so fast, one of the fastest players in the game, and he's just absolutely incredible. Great defense, 2 steals a game, obviously tied with SGA for most in the NBA this past year. And his fundamentals and his what he's been doing to help the Sacramento Kings grow is just absolutely terrific. The dude is just an absolute stud, one of the best players in the league to watch. I mean, super young, obviously got so much time ahead of him, so much time to develop, but he's playing at this level at that age. He's just going to go up from here. So he might even make second team or first team down the road. So yeah. All right, now moving on to the forwards. This one was a really tough one. I had to go with Jaylen Brown just because obviously last season people were talking about the left hand allegations, but obviously this year he's beaten that. He's made some really flashy plays with the left hand, drawing fouls and making buckets, getting and ones. I mean, the dude is just so confident in himself. That's one of the best aspects about him. I mean, being able to dunk on Rudy Gobert like that, Clint Capella, Anthony Black, and Trey Lyles. I mean, just incredible, so flashy, and his defense has taken a huge step up. Obviously, his off-ball defense has to improve, but his on-ball defense is so great, and he even said that he wants to guard the best player on the opposing team, and he's been able to do such a good job. He guarded Steph Curry really well, and he guarded Anthony Edwards down the clutch against the Wolves when they were in Boston, and he's just improved so much, and obviously his points per game have dipped, but that's because his defense has taken such a huge step up, and he's just so phenomenal for the Boston Celtics. He's proving all the haters wrong, he's shutting all the haters up, and he deserves a spot on All-NBA third team. Okay, now moving on to the other forward, I mean, really no question, LeBron James has to get some recognition. I mean, the dude just, at this age, I mean, what he's doing at age 39 is just so incredible. I mean, almost 26 points a game, 8 assists, and this dude just ages like a fine wine. I mean, he's so consistently good, but obviously there are better forwards. I mean, he still has a very good season, very good numbers by a lot of marks, but because there's so many other young stars that have better stats than him, he has to go on the third team. But I mean, the dude's just been so important for the Los Angeles Lakers. I mean, without him, they don't even make the play-in. They're just bottom feeders. But because of him, he's been able to carry that team. Obviously, with Anthony Davis, he's been able to carry the Lakers to a play-in spot, obviously to the 7th seed. I have to give him recognition. The dude just doesn't know what the word age is, just being able to beat Father Time like that. So yeah. LeBron James has to go on All-NBA third team because of that, but dude still has to get his record. All right, now moving on to the last center. This one was really tough. I had to choose between Victor Wembanyama and Domantas Sabonis. Ultimately, I went with Domantas Sabonis because even though he scored less points, he did it at a significantly better efficiency. I mean, this dude almost averaged 14 rebounds a game, almost 20 points, and he's just been so important for the Sacramento Kings. I mean, down low, he's such a great player. He can make threes if you need him to. He's about like mid-30s shooter for center, which is incredible. And the dude's just absolutely terrific. Defensively, he's pretty good. Offensively, he's even better in the post, in the mid-range. I mean, he was such a huge part of the recent success of the Sacramento Kings. I have to give him some recognition. Wemby will get his flowers later, but it's just so hard to leave Domantas Sabonis, especially after he got snubbed of an All-Star appearance this year. And he's just, second year, he's leading rebounding, which shows that he's able to get boards and create second chance opportunities for his team around him, like Keegan Murray, Malik Monk, and De'Aaron Fox, and Harrison Barnes. I mean, dude's just incredible. And yeah, that's all my 3 All-NBA teams. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have disagreements with me, leave them down below in the comments. I'll be happy to take a look at them. And if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for the support on the previous video. Almost at 900 views. I mean, it's just so incredible. Make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. This is TPS signing off. Peace out.